and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a video that I think it's like another portion, an installment of a video I think I did a year or so ago. I can't quite remember. If I can find something similar, I will leave it linked down below. Yeah, because I think I did makeup I wouldn't pay full price for, and this video is makeup not worth the money. Because in the land of makeupness and in the land of rising indie brands, drugstore resurgence, makeup that has a high price tag on it doesn't necessarily mean it's worth the price tag, because like I said, there's a lot of disconnect. There is no one thing is universally good. High-end brands have just as much duds as drugstore products or less expensive things. And so today we're going to discuss things that I feel aren't worth the money from like a just don't buy it. And also we're going to be talking about things that aren't worth the money that, like, if they go on sale, sure, they're great for that price, but I don't consider them worth the original listing price. Obviously, this is subjective. This is my own opinion. If I talk about a product and say, I don't think it's worth the money, that's a product you love. It's the holy grail. It's something you ain't ever gonna live without. That is fantastic. These are just my thoughts and opinions through my experiences with these products. So without further ado, let's just get into the products not worth the money, in my opinion. Now, I'm pretty sure I did talk about these in makeup. I wouldn't pay full price for. I don't recommend paying full price for, because I paid full price for them when they came out. But the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighters, like these, I bought when they came out because I was still riding that Kat Von D train. And I was really hoping her products were gonna, you know, keep doing the thing. They didn't. We're here now. And these are something that I'm like, okay, these are like, I want to say 30. I mean, it's a pretty whatever price for a high-end highlighter, but like, if they're like 15 or you find them at Marshall's for like $11.99, $12.99, I'd say, yeah, sure, go for it. They're a fun kind of like, the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlighters are essentially, they are the poor man's version of the Jeffree Star Extreme Frost highlighters. That kind of glossy pigment with the glitter suspended in it. They're the Jeffree Star highlighters done not as well. So they're definitely not a highlighter I would say, yeah, run out and pay that $30 for, because I just don't feel that they're worth that. You know, the colors are pretty, but if you think about the formula and what you gotta do to make it work, it's definitely something that I would say, yeah, if it went on sale, if you found it at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, yeah, maybe spring the $10 to $15 for it, but definitely not the 30. It's not a highlighter I would recommend people paying full price for. Then another highlighter I wouldn't recommend people paying full. I mean, I just wouldn't recommend people buying this at all. I bought it. It was in a products I anti-hauled but bought. I found it at Marshall's for $10, but the Becca Champagne Pop loose highlighter, I paid $10. It's, I mean, it doesn't really do much more than my original Champagne Pop does. It's got a little bit of glitter in it, but that's about it, distinguishing it from the original. And I say this isn't worth the money, especially the original price tag, because the original price tag was $42. I want to know who decided that taking the original Becca Champagne Pop, smashing it up, adding a little bit of glitter, and putting it in a loose container merited that price point, that price jump. Like, what made you think, yes, this is amazing, people are gonna pay $42 freaking dollars for this highlighter that they already own in the liquid form is permanent, the pressed form, and now we're just going to give them a loose form and people are going to go all over for it. Well, people didn't go all over it because it's hanging out at Marshall's, and it's, you know, people like me who anti-hauled it bought it, and even then it's not so good. I mean, honestly, I would recommend even skipping it for like the Marshall's price, because I mean, unless you're totally obsessed with Champagne Pop, I mean, I'm just kind of like, I'm good. That was definitely $10 that wasn't the best spent. I mean, it's okay, but for $42, that's That's ungodly. That's rude. Okay, something else. I think this was in my empties. It was probably in products I regret buying. It all kind of starts blurring together after a while. Oh, the joys of being a YouTuber. But the Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. Now, y'all know skincare has become a very important part of this channel, a very important part of my life routine. I love me my skincare and my skincare routine. It is something that makes me happy inside, and so I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna buy me the expensive skincare. So I bought these. This is a $48 spray, which I was kind of expecting to be life-changing, skin-changing, and it just wasn't. I think I said, like, in my products I regret buying, you know, if I hadn't ever tried any other kind of illuminating spray, then yeah, sure, I would have thought the world of this one. But I've tried from Pixi, I've tried from Tarte, from Mario Badescu, from a myriad of other brands that basically have the same product for less money. You get more of it. I mean, yeah, it's nice, but it's definitely, see, I wouldn't even say if it were to go on sale, go out and buy this thing, because like I said, there are other ones that do the same thing, if not do it better. It is a ridiculously overhyped item. I feel like the people that talk about it, they use this one and then they don't try anything else, because there are other things out there just as good that I feel like if they tried those, they would see the future that I see, and it would not include that Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. It's just pricey and it's bougie, and there's just so many other ones that are so much better. It was so overpriced, not worth the money, not on sale. Just comment down below. I will need to tell y'all, because I keep saying, oh, there's so many ones that are better than this. I need to actually say what those are, so I don't know what kind of video that'll be, but something. Okay, this next one is kind of a recent, I did a no-no. I made a boo-boo. And when Ulta was having its Black Friday deals, I purchased some of the Kylie Cosmetics Kylighters because they were on sale for $10, and I think they're originally $18 or $20. And I remember thinking, well, for $10, I can try that formula, you know, not for the $18 or $20. And in all honesty, I mean, it's a $10 formula. I would say, yeah, sure, if you want, you know, kind of a lighter, not as cha-cha-cha-cha on the first swipe, you know, like spending the $10, I'm like, okay, all right, this feels, you know, kind of about in that price range. You know, if I'd spent the 18 or 20, I would definitely have been a lot more disappointed, because I would have expected a lot more zhuzh for my buck. But they're okay. They're kind of a softer, more subtle. You definitely have to build them up, but it's not a formula that I would say, yes, go out and spend that 18 or 20 bucks. No, because if you're spending 18 or 20 bucks, there's a myriad of highlighter formulas out there from all differing brands that for that price point will give you so much more. And for that price point even, that will give you softer and diffused highlighters that I think perform better than these. So those were just kind of like for what I paid for it. I'm, you know, not mad at it, but it's not something that I would say, oh my goodness, this is a formula I tried at a discounted price that I would definitely go out and recommend buying at the regular price. No, it's about a $10 highlighter. Then another product that I'm a fairly big fan of it for the most part, but it's definitely something that I think is overpriced for what it is. And that is the Crime Velvetines liquid lipsticks. Now I know part of that has to do with the size. Compared to other similarly priced liquid lipsticks, you get a lot less product. Like we're talking Jeffree Star, Kat Von D, Lunar Beauty, even Wet n Wild. You know, there are a myriad of other liquid lipsticks in that price point or lower where you get a lot more product for that same price point. And so there is that, you know, you're getting the cute little, I mean, in the beginning, Lime Crime was like justifying their prices because of cute packaging and all that jazz. Well, now we gotta work on something more than just cute packaging. So the cute little rose decals on the cap, that ain't doing it anymore. The majority of the Lime Crime liquid lipsticks that I've got have been on clearance. They've been, you know, $10, depending on the clearance, 8 or 5, you know, they do some kind of deal like that. I'm like, okay, you know, now I'll invest in some Lime Crime lipsticks, but they're not a formula. They're a good formula, but for the price point and the size, you know, they aren't something that I'm going out and purchasing at full price. Whereas, you know, I'll buy Jeffree Star, I'll buy Lunar Beauty, even Kat Von D, you know, there are other Juvia's Place, Wet n Wild, even there are other formulas that I would purchase over this one. Not because the formula's bad, but when you compare it to a lot of other the counterparts on the market, they're just kind of not as phenomenal. They do have a lot of unique shades, which was kind of another one of their selling points. That was like, oh, we have green and puce and purple. But now that more alternative makeup has started to see an insurgence in the community, there are a lot of other companies that have weird colors, like Wet n Wild, like Kat Von D, although she was one of the original crazy color person. But Jeffree Star, you know, there's so many. What Lime Crime was marketing on at the time in their boom was the lack of what they provided by other companies, but that has since not become a thing. So there's just a lot more other options that are just more viable. Okay, something else that I hate trashing, well, like, this isn't a trashing video, but I hate saying like, oh, something isn't worth the money, or like, you know, when it's a collab product, because people who get collabs, you know, they deserve to benefit from it and have their dreams come true and everything like that. But just the situation under which this one was released, what it has to offer compared to other palettes, and just, you know, the timing of it all kind of makes it one of those items it's something that you could see being marked down pretty easily. And what I'm talking about is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Carli Bybel palette. Now, this was kind of up between 3, honestly. I mean, the sentiment kind of stands for all of these. You got the Carli Bybel, the Alyssa Edwards, and the Jackie Aina, though I would say out of all of them, the Jackie Aina one is the least not worth the money. And I'm not saying the quality is bad. I'm not saying the color stories are bad. I'm just saying, compared to other palettes on the market, other palettes Anastasia has come out with, you know, these are not palettes that I would say, yes, go out and buy that $42, you know, spend that. These are going to be the best end-all be-all palettes you've ever used. They're more something where I'm like, okay, if they go for 50% off, or there's some kind of weekly wow or bonus buy, sure, you know, pay the 24 or whatever dollars, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. But for 42, they just don't seem to give enough depth. I mean, like I said, the Jackie Aina one is the least offensive in this category, but the Alyssa Edwards one, which is being spotted at Marshall's and such, and the Carli Bybel one are just kind of these non sequitur additions to a once rich and beautiful family line. I mean, everyone likes getting something at a discount, but just because something's discounted doesn't mean it's worth buying. But with these, I would, you know, like I said, they're just not good enough for me to feel good about saying, yeah, $42, that's good, that's great, that's wonderful. They're not, you know, like I said, 50% off, less money, some kind of sale, you got a coupon, sure, invest in it that way, but I don't feel that they're worth that whole $42 investment, because they were just so many, there's so many palettes, even from the same company, that you could get, you know, palettes that you would get more use out of. This next item is gonna be, you're gonna see some overlap with this, but this is a skincare item that is going to be also in my, I'm gonna do my expensive skincare, what's worth it. And this is a product that's definitely not worth it, and it may be just because of me. I understand skincare is subjective. Maybe it just didn't do its wonderfulness to my face. But I'm specifically talking about the Amorepacific Gel Eye Cream. Now, this is something that I received through Octoly. So I didn't pay for this. I got it through Octoly, and I was using it, and it was okay. You know, it hydrated around here and stuff like that. I didn't notice it, you know, doing anything amazing for fine lines or rejuvenating or puffiness or anything like that. It was just, I've been using it for probably for about 3 months steady now. And I use it because it hydrates my eye, but it doesn't really do anything else other than that. And y'all, this is like a $90 eye cream. I mean, there is some expensive skincare like the Dr. Brandt Microdermabrasion that I'm like, yeah, that's totally worth. This is a no. I mean, I'm sure there must be other hydrating eye treatments that don't cost $90 that do the exact same thing as this does. Because yeah, it hydrates, but it doesn't help with fine lines. It hasn't done anything for premature aging. And maybe I'm still using it, I'm using it up. Maybe after I stop using it, my eyeballs are gonna fall out of my face, and you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, it was good. For right now, $90 for that thing. I did not receive or experience a $90 skincare moment for me to say, yes, this is something I would repurchase. I mean, y'all can get so much for $90 in makeup and in skincare, and that because I didn't know how much it was, and then I was on Sephora and I was like, oh, that's expensive. Then another product that is going to be just a not worth the money on a whole. Don't buy it when it's on clearance. Don't. This is a product that should not be purchased. And that is, in my opinion, the Jouer Rose Cut Gems Face and Cheek Palette. I had anti-haul this, and then I bought it because I have issues. And I expected it to be bigger. I expected the packaging to be better. And the most disappointing thing was the product inside, because shoddy packaging and size that can all be whatever if the formula is bomb diggity. And the blushes were just, they're kind of pigmented, they're kind of patchy, and they're kind of just not the nicest formula, especially since several of y'all have hyped up the Jouer blush formula in like the duos and that one 6-pan palette. I should have just, and you should too, just take the money that you might spend on this and spend it on one of those instead. And then kind of like the final nail in the coffin is that beautiful looking highlighter in the middle. It's a chunky, glitter, patchy, nasty, dry mess. Like, it is everything you don't want a highlighter to be. It's not smooth, it's not flattering, it's just glitter in the worst possible way. And I just feel so bad because, you know, when you think about something, you anti-haul it, you go with your gut and you're like, yeah, and then you buy it and you're like, I'm stupid. I'm so friggin' stupid. Because it just wasn't worth the money. It's not even something that, if it goes on sale, which it probably is, it's not something that I would say, yeah, at that price point, buy it. That'd be a fun thing to have. No, because it's just not a good formula all around. I wouldn't recommend it full price. I wouldn't recommend it half price. Maybe if someone were giving it to you for free, but even then, it's just not very nice. I lied. I'm gonna do one more, and this one is kind of random. This is a release that came out, I want to say 2 years ago, but the Sugarpill Little Twin Stars palette. The liquid lipsticks, amazing. I love them. One of my favorite formulas. The colors are really nifty. Those are fantastic. And I remember, I think it was Georgia Harris who did a review. I will leave it down below if I can find it. And she was like, this is just kind of And at the time I was like, she don't know what she talking about. You know, I think it's amazing. And now that I'm older and wiser and look back on it, I'm like, no. She was right. Very, very much right. Because it's not so much you've got the mishmash conglomeration of colors, which is just like, what? Then you've got the fact that compared to Sugarpill's normal formula, these are kind of like, the shimmers are really chunky. I use the one for a face highlighter every once in a while. It's just, it's limited edition, but it's been on their site for like forever, and it flops and backs being on sale or regular price. You know, don't buy it at regular price. Oh my goodness. And I would even say, unless you've made peace with that you're purchasing it for like a collector's item, you know, don't even buy it at like 50% off. Just, you know, spend your money on something else. It just isn't worth the money, you know, not for an eyeshadow experience, not for a collector's item. You know, it was just, you know, I got it and I was like, yeah, this is the amazing kawaii things in sliced bread. And now I'm just like, no, it sucks. Georgia was right. But that is the end of my products not worth the money. Obviously, I'd love to hear what y'all think about these products down below, as well as something you think is like, yeah, you know, what's not worth the money to y'all? But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!